I'm Derrick Doty, and today I presented a Kansas music history program, which is just exploring the history of Kansas and our music traditions from the viewpoint of music and musicians. Yeah, it's actually called a Balopticon, but it was made by Bosch and Lomb about 1912, 1925. It is a descendant of the magic lantern, so since it's electric and it's got these lenses in it that can produce a much clearer picture than a lot of the old oil lamps or candles could. But yes, sometimes we start out with a magic lantern show, just to kind of get a look at the past of some of the things around Kansas and the scenery. I guess I first got interested kind of from a family standpoint. My great-grandfather was a fiddler, and in fact, I brought his fiddle with me today. Didn't get to talk about it, though. But I started researching my family's history in Morris County when I moved to Council Grove and opened a barber shop there. So I wanted to learn more about him, see if I could find anything about him playing at dances somewhere, because we really don't know when he started playing the fiddle. Anyway, never found anything on him in Morris County, but through the years as I did research and ended up writing for the newspaper, I started gleaning a lot of information about some of our music traditions. In Dwight, around the turn of the century, they had a big barn that was built. That was their skating rink, but they also had dances in there. So they advertised a fiddler and a banjo player will be providing the music for the dance tonight. And just kind of started accumulating all this information on our traditions and customs here. I was a musician before. My mother tells a story about, I was maybe 3 or 4 years old, I'm guessing. I don't remember this, but I'm told that anytime the Beverly Hillbillies theme song came on the television, I would run from wherever I was in the house and stop at the TV and just stand there and watch and listen until the theme music was done, and then I'd be off to do whatever I was doing. So I think I was interested in music at a very early age. But it wasn't until I was 8 years old I started taking piano lessons. And shortly after that, started getting interested in guitar and banjo. And finally, I think I was maybe 12 or 13 when I got my first fiddle and started learning to play. Well, I always enjoy sharing about the early fiddlers of Kansas, because in the old-time music community across the nation, when people think of Kansas, they don't really think of fiddlers. We don't have much to offer. And it's still kind of a mystery why that is, because I have found evidence of lots of fiddlers being here in Kansas. We had fiddle contests as early as the 1890s, and Topeka had a really big fiddlers contest. I think 1912 was the first year they did that. And they drew in 50 fiddlers from just around the Topeka area. And a big group of them actually came up from Emporia to perform. And it's important to note that not only did you have white fiddlers, you had black fiddlers, you had lady fiddlers, and they did all kinds of other things beside fiddling. There was buckwing dance contests and just all kinds of things that we don't really see today. But probably the most interesting thing about those contests to me is the prizes that they offered. They were really practical prizes, like the best fiddler on a tune of his choice might win a new suit of clothes, or another fiddler might win a set of dishes that was offered by the Topeka Capital Journal. It was always practical things like wallpapering a room of your house, or a carpet, or something that would improve your life. There's a lot of little bits and pieces that we find in diaries and journals. But yeah, the other thing, why those things aren't documented is because they're informal traditions. And that's just kind of the nature of informal traditions. They don't get documented. And maybe that's because it was such a common part of your life, you just didn't think about it. And maybe also because you're so busy doing it, going to a dance, whatever, you don't take the time to take a picture, write about it, whatever. Of course, now everybody has this documentation device in their pocket, so we can get video, we can do all kinds of things today. I'd like for people to be aware of what Kansas has to offer and share these stories of early fiddlers and radio performers and people who, made their mark on the nation in a big way, like Wendell Hall, and people who were just, grandma who played the harmonica in the evening and never went beyond that. But everybody has a story to share, and it should be shared. It's June Talkington. Well, he was a friend, and he would have admitted that he wasn't a great fiddler, but he really enjoyed coming to play at the Emma Chase every Friday night, and we always enjoyed having him there to play with. But this one tune that he taught everybody that came was a tune that was played frequently in Chase County for probably the past 50 or 60 years, and so it was an honor to be able to learn it from him. An oral tradition. And his mother, I do remember him sharing that his mother sang a lot, and I remember him showing me a booklet of lyrics that she had written out of old country songs and whatnot. And he would often ask me to sing When the Bees Are in the Hive, because that was a song that his mother liked to sing, I believe. So yeah, a continuation of those traditions from his early time. If people are on Facebook, you can find me on Facebook, Flint Hills Fiddler, or you can find me on WordPress, flinthillsfiddler.wordpress.com, and that has my contact, it has a little bit of what I do, and also contains my blog, which is focused on Kansas music history.